Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Daily Discipline number 128 on February the 21st, 2019. Rob Hoback, that's Addy, that's NF over there, and welcome to Daily Discipline. We're so glad that you spent a couple minutes with us. Today we're going to talk about how courageous is greater than fear. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about our thankies and this day in history. Does that sound good, Sissy? So first of all, let's talk about what we're thankful for. Number one, I'm thankful that you got up and came over here and made the video with me. So thank you, Sissy. I love it when you're here with me. Number two is I'm headed down to Dallas today to take care of a couple things. One of them requires courage. We'll talk about that in a minute. But a unintended, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like I didn't realize when I booked the trip that this was going to be a goodbye meeting to a couple of my friends. So a couple of friends that I work with have both let me know that they're leaving the company I work for and moving on. And so it's going to be bittersweet, saying goodbye to some friends. Mostly the two people that I'm talking about, Harry and the Donger, both of them are, they've been real instrumental in this transformation that's going on in my life. So I'm going to miss them. I'm going to miss the daily interactions. I'm going to miss having the commonality of the same company that we work for, but life moves on, doesn't it, sis? Yeah. So the third thing, so number one was Sissy's here. Number two, I'm going to Dallas. Number three, I'm going to Dallas, right? So over the weekend, I got sucked into this, a show about the 80s, and it was something on CNN. They had the 70s, 80s, 90s. And one of the things they talked about was the show Dallas. And it immediately made me think of what Friday nights were like for me when it was like wrestler Rob, right? Like we talked about 112 pounds, right? 119 pounds, whatever it was. And on Friday nights when I was at that age, there wasn't TV like there is today. The TV was, you had at probably 7 o'clock, you had the Dukes of Hazzard, which was a great show with the General Lee. Then after that, you had the Incredible Hulk, which is still my favorite superhero, right, Sissy? And has Daddy ever been Hulk for Halloween? Yeah, you were a ladybug. Anyway, yeah, you don't remember that, do you?
Nope.
Anyway, when I was a kid, I watched those shows, and then the third show that was on at probably 8 o'clock was Dallas. And I remember watching that show as a kid thinking, oh my God, that's like a world away. And here I get to go down there all the time and live that life, right? Like I never imagined when I was a kid watching the show Dallas that I'd get to go to Dallas all the time. So that's pretty awesome, right? Go ahead, sis.
A long time ago, you used to always go to Dallas.
I used to go a lot more, didn't I?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah, just since my job changed, I don't have to go as much, do I? Thankfully, I get to stay here with you. All right, so moving on. This day in history, two very important things. This one was just kind of shocking to me. In 1948, today, NASCAR was founded. Kind of funny. That's 3 days in a row we've talked about NASCAR. And then Malcolm X was assassinated this day. Just stay away from that one. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is that courage is greater than fear. And so we know that because we know that fear is a liar, right? And so that we make things up in our mind and we concoct that, it's going to be so terrible. This is going to be so difficult. And I've done that thinking about what my meeting this afternoon is going to be like. I've gone through a gazillion iterations of how terrible this can be. My assumption is that that is fear, and fear is a liar. And so I've made it out to be way worse in my head than it will be in reality. And that if I'm just courageous and I stick to the facts and I'm prepared, then everything's going to be just fine, right? Because fear is a liar, and it takes courage to be successful, and we are going to be successful, right, sis? No wimps here. We done for the day? Let's do it. Hands up. Peace out. What are we, sissy? We're better together. So I appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate your thoughts, your prayers. Hey, I had a quick conversation with MJ the other day. Sounds like she's doing great. I'll call her today on my way down to Dallas. But just wanted to say thanks again. Love you guys. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with an update from Dallas. So we'll talk to you then. Love you. Bye.